Alright guys, hello, hi, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a long-awaited major life update for those who are new to my channel, haven't kept up with me, or wanted an update from my past video. So let me just show you guys. I'm probably going to edit this into the thumbnail, but I am basically responding to a video I made about a year and a half ago. It's one of my most popular videos on my YouTube page. So let me pull it up for you guys real quick. Not reacting to it, but this is just like the update because I feel like you guys deserve to have an update. But also I feel like it's a good for me to reflect on like where I am now versus where I was literally a year and a half ago. So this is the video I made. It says I published it May 17th of 2024. So wait, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So it's almost a year and a half exactly from when I filmed this video. The title of it was How I Ended Up Broke at 28 Living with My Parents. I can't see the whole title right now. I'm struggling to find a decent job. So this is where I was a year and a half ago, and here I am now. So here's a much needed update. So how I ended up broke at 28. I'm currently 29. I actually turned 30 tomorrow. I wanted to film this before my 30th birthday. Technically a year and a half I would actually be I would be 30. But regardless, I just wanted to share, that for anyone who can relate to the video and where I was at in the video, that there is hope. Continue to trust and hope and believe. Don't give up because things can and do get better. I understand feeling hopeless and feeling sad and feeling like nothing's ever going to change, but I am living proof that it's possible. So let's give an update. Where am I currently? I'm currently 29. I currently have a full-time salary job. I'm living on my own. I have my own place, 2-bed, 1-bath. And pretty much I'm not broke. We are still on a debt journey, so a debt video will be coming soon. I still do have a lot of debt to pay off, and that is something that I kind of am going to start focusing on. I wanted to start like as soon as I started my job, but to be quite honest, it's looking like the beginning of next year is going to be the like main focus for my debt. Anyways, that's going to be another video update, whatever, because I never filmed a debt video to begin with. But anyways, I'm not broke. I have been saving money consistently for the past 4 months, so I'm doing okay there. I am now a full-time teacher, so I think at the time I filmed this video I was still a registered behavior technician, or RBT, and I was at not the second company I worked at, but the first company I worked at, and I was struggling so bad because I accepted that position because they gaslit me so bad about like being full-time. And so I kept accepting crumbs for them for like months and months and months before I finally left that job. So that video was filmed before I started at the second center, which was a lot better. So honestly, things did improve shortly after that video. I think a month and a half later after I filmed that was when I started at my new previous company to where I am at now. And I got much better hours and stuff there, and it was a lot more stable. And then I was still having like issues with my living situation and things like that. So pretty much my life has done a 180 almost exactly. I'm much more stable. I have a set salary every single month. I only get paid once a month though, which is no bueno, but we're making it work. We have to budget very, very well. I'm no longer struggling. I want to say this. I don't feel like I'm struggling with a shopping addiction anymore. I do think now that I have my own place, I'm like have to prioritize what I need. So like making sure my electricity bills paid, my rent, like all of that stuff is paid. I only actually water is included, so I really only have to pay electric and rent. And I might get internet soon. I haven't decided yet. But basically, every struggle that I had a year and a half ago, we're not struggling with that except for debt. That's the only one we're still working at. But looking back at that video, it's just like good to see how much I progressed since then. And it's just a reminder, like, just don't, every situation you're in is only temporary. So wherever you are in life right now, don't think that just because you're struggling in your current situation that it's going to be forever, because I promise you it's not. I feel like everything in the past built up and led to me being prepared to work in my current field. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Teaching is hard. Like, being a teacher is not easy. It is a high stress and somewhat high turnover field. You know, people are quitting teaching left and right because of the demands and the pay not really matching, which I do honestly understand. Like, I'm not making a lot of money, but I'm making enough to like survive and at least just maintain where I am currently in my life. And I do have, I feel like the work-life balance, I personally am someone who is not going to, I don't want to have to do work outside of my scheduled work hours. And I feel like there's a lot of teachers who feel like they have to make their work and their job as a teacher a 24/7 job. And I'm someone who's like, I'm not gonna not that I'm not dedicated or committed to my job as a teacher, but I am not going to be someone whose entire life revolves around just being a teacher and school and everything else. Like, I have to be able to decompress so that I don't get overwhelmed and so that I don't stress out. So when I leave school, unless I have homework, because so basically I'm doing a program to get my teaching certification while working as a teacher. And the program is 18 months. So I have to take classes. I'm taking a class right now. I'm almost done. I have like 3 more assignments. I have like a project I have to work on right now that's currently in the works. And I also have monthly trainings on Saturdays. It's like, there's a lot. It's a big commitment. It's a very time consuming, a lot of reading, a lot of writing papers, a lot of like extra work on top of my job. And then I'm still trying to manage making YouTube videos and my vlog channel and social media stuff. So I am really doing a lot in volunteering and just trying to stay involved with my church group. I was trying to get back involved in my worship team, but that's kind of not looking like it's gonna stay anymore. Only because, I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna just continue to pray about it. I'm not gonna stress myself about things I cannot control. That's one thing. If anything I've learned from when I made that video, do not stress yourself over things you cannot control. It is a waste of your time to let yourself be stressed over something you cannot control. So at the time, I was stressed out because I had a job that my hours fluctuated so badly. My paychecks were not enough for me to like pay bills, save up, or have my own place. And there was pressure on me to move out and all this other stuff. And I just felt like I was so behind on my peers. And I'm going to be honest, there are times where I still feel like I am very behind from my peers or just people my age, But I do feel like having my own place, having like a more stable career, I do feel a lot better in that aspect, but there's still a lot more growing I have to do. So I know this is still just like the beginning of me getting my life fully together, but we've made a lot of progress, and I'm very proud to be where I am at now. And I just want to say to like my past self, if only I knew where I would be now. Like, it's so easy to look at your current situation and feel like it's like, this is all, there's no hope. What am I going to do? Like, I don't know where I'm going to be. But it's just like, I'm literally living in the progress that my past self could not see or could not dream of. Like, I never thought I would end up in teaching. Like, I never considered this a path for me. But here we are. So it's just like there's endless possibilities of where you could be. And the only thing that is limiting you in your life is your attitude, and your outlook on things. So even when I made that video, though, that was just like a very low point in my life. I was just feeling so low at that point. I don't even know what triggered it. I think that was when I was in New York with my mom on like, I was at fat camp. I was literally at fat camp when I made that video. So maybe I was stressed and tired from like all the workouts and like the limited food you eat when you're there. That's a whole nother story. But anyways, I was just feeling very like behind in my life, and I still feel like that sometimes, if I'm being honest, but I don't ever feel nearly as bad as I felt in that video. And so I just wanted to make this video to share kind of like, don't give up, trust God's timing. And the truth is, like, a lot of prayer and a lot of trust in God is what got me through this situation. And honestly, I'm going to be quite honest with you. I feel like God's timing is perfect, but also like I'm in a situation I never thought I would be in. And that's because doors were opened for me that I didn't think, like, this is how I know it's like God's hand was in a lot of things, because it was like a 3 or 4 month process for me getting into the program that I'm currently in. And I had to do so much work to even get that. And I was still like doubting. I was like, I'm not going to get it. Like, I didn't feel confident in myself even to get the job I currently have, but somehow I still ended up here. I'm also at like a really good school compared to some of the other schools that are in my district. And even that is just like, I didn't think I did well at the interview, but I still ended up, they offered me the position the next day. Like, it really was like, I didn't have to try hard. And when I say that, I don't mean like I wasn't trying hard. Like, I had to do all the steps and obviously submit things and, get recommendations and all of those things. But I mean, like, I did everything and the doors were just automatically open. Like, I didn't have to make it happen for me. I just did what I was supposed to do. If that makes sense. I hope I'm explaining that well. Like, I'm not saying like I didn't try at all. I'm saying I put in effort for the steps that were needed, because there were so many other jobs I've interviewed for that I didn't get. But for this position, I had to do, it was, like I said, it was a 3-month process. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I just got the job easy, willy-nilly. But I kept progressing through this process until I ended up here. So there was like a lot of steps to get here. But like I said, I just trusted God through every process. Like, if this is the job I'm meant to have, like, I don't need to stress about it. I'm not going to worry about it. And it also came a lot quicker. So I think I had just hit a year at my previous job right before I started this job. So, and that was really important to me. I was like, I really want to be at a job for at least a year. And I finally did that, guys. So I hit two goals of making it to a year at one job, at the same company. And then I started this one like pretty shortly after. So it's kind of been like go, go, go. I'm looking very much forward to my Thanksgiving break that is coming up soon because I need the break. But yeah, just wanted to make this video to say don't give up. Trust the process, trust God. Don't stress over what you can't control, and things will and do get better. To anyone who just needs that encouragement, that things do get better. And I feel like your main focus, if I can give any advice to someone in a similar position as I was a year and 6 months ago, it's really don't stress about what you can control. Like I said that in the beginning of the video, but truly do not stress over things that you cannot control, things that you cannot change. It is not worth your time, your energy, your effort. Focus on what you can do and you'll feel so much better. Like maybe I couldn't control not getting hours at my job, but I could control like putting effort into finding other jobs or trying to get a second job and stuff like that, which is a lot of what I was doing at the time. I was just like, nothing's happening for me and this is just, everything just sucks and blah, 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 blah. Like my mindset was very negative as well. But I think you feel a lot more empowered in your life when you focus on what you can do versus focusing on what you can't do. So if you're focusing on what you can't do or what you don't have, you're going to feel horrible about your life. When you're focused on what you have and you're grateful for what you have and you're focused on what you can do, you're going to have a much better outlook on life. That's just like, I mean, it really is the whole glass half full, glass half empty perspective. And I know people don't take that perspective very seriously, but it truthfully is like your perspective changes how you feel about your entire life. Like, would you rather go through your life feeling like everything's half empty? I never have enough. I'm always lacking something. Like I never, like you, that's the glass half empty mindset is just you are looking through your life like you're always missing something, right? Something always missing. You're never happy. You're never satisfied. Versus, oh, I have a glass half full, you know? Look what I have. You're not focusing on what you lack. You're focused on what you have. So you're happier in your life. Like, both of those people are in the same positions. Like, let's look at this objectively. A glass half full and a glass half empty are the same amount of water in a glass, right? But one person is feeling grateful for what they have and is positive and is happy and is satisfied. The other person is miserable and negative and thinking about what they don't have and what I lack, right? That mindset shift, even you can be in the same exact position as someone else, but your mindset will make you enjoy your life more than someone else. That's the thing. Like, it doesn't matter, like, in retrospect, whatever, objectively, it doesn't actually matter how much water's in the glass. What matters is how the perspective that they see their life shapes how they go through life and how they feel about themselves. So that's why perspective is everything. And it's so important. And it's important for mental health too. Like, if you're always looking at the negative, well, I don't have this and I don't have that. Like, comparison is the thief of joy. Truly, truly, truly the thief of joy when you compare yourself to where other people are, which I used to do a lot too, like thinking like, oh my gosh, like my friends are so advanced in their careers and I'm like starting over again, right? So it's just like, don't compare yourself to other people's journeys either. But also, like, your life is your life. You have control over yourself, over your actions, over your choices, over your outlook and your perspective on your life. So you can control that. Things that, it's like I said, it's a mindset shift. What you focus on. Are you focusing on what you have and being grateful? Or are you focusing on what you lack and being, pessimistic, negative, like, oh, I just wish I had this and that. And that's how I used to think. Like, I'm saying this as someone who I was always focused on what I didn't have. So I'm like, even looking back at where I was at that, I'm like, I had so much to be grateful for. One, I had parents who loved me and cared about me enough, even though, they were putting like a little bit of fire under my, belly to like get my life together. I had loving, supportive parents who cared enough about me to push me to be greater and do better than where I was. And as much as my parents were always threatening to kick me out, I was never homeless. That was like my biggest fear in life, was being homeless, because my parents were threatening to kick me out or just always telling me like I had to move out soon, whatever. And you know what? I was never homeless. Not once in my life was I ever homeless. So that was like one of my biggest fears. Like, I'm going to end up on the streets because I can't afford whatever. And it's just like, at some point you just have to trust God is going to be there for you. And that's something that as a Christian I can always say. Like, every situation that I thought was like the worst situation ever, I've always gotten through it. I've come out stronger. I've survived, overcome, and things were never as bad as I thought they were going to be in my head. Like, your thoughts, if you focusing on like the worst that can happen or the negative or these extremes, it was just like I was letting worry consume me. And when you're worried about something, you're worried about something that hasn't happened yet. So when you're worrying about something, you're worrying about a possible, what's the word? A worry means that if you're worried about it, it hasn't actually happened. Basically, that's like, I remember I listened to a sermon about that. Basically, like, if you are worried about it, it's because that's not your reality. Like, when you actually are going through that, it's not a worry. It's just you're dealing with the outcome. So, like, when you worry about something that hasn't actually happened, you're meditating on something that isn't objectively real. Like, you're worried about a false reality. And that is, like, when you think about it like that, like, I'm worrying about something that's not even real. Like, when you're thinking of the worst case scenario and you start giving it anxiety and worry, you're worried about something that isn't objectively real. You're worried about something, the possibility of something happening, but it hasn't actually happened. Do you see why that's not like healthy? It's not healthy to worry because you're worried about something that is not objectively real. And I can talk more about that later. Anyways, that's pretty much all I wanted to share. Just where I am now, how I progressed so far. I still have, more things I want to accomplish. We need to get back in the gym and focus on debt. I think I had like 4 major problems: rent, job. 2 out of 4 things are solved. So maybe in another another year and a half, maybe we'll be debt free and we'll have lost be on our fitness journey, at the end of our fitness journey. So I guess those are the next 2 things we're going to tackle. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this update. Tomorrow is my 30th birthday, so I don't know. I'm not necessarily excited. I don't really know how to feel. I just feel like, oh my gosh. Like, it hasn't really hit me yet. Maybe tomorrow it'll hit me like I'm actually 30. I've reached the 3rd decade of my life. My 20s are over. I still feel young though. I feel like I don't feel my age, which I don't look my age either. Like, all of my friends that are younger than me, they're like, I can't believe you're 30. I always forget how old you are. Anyways, that's all, guys. I will talk to you guys later. And I hope y'all enjoyed this little chit chat video.